welcome back to Theory Series episode 2. So fun. So this week, I'm going to talk about messages from loved ones. And that's probably everyone's favorite service because those who pass on, they always want to know, make sure that they're doing okay, and make sure that they had crossed over, and all of those things. What people don't know is I'm going to try to explain this the easiest way possible because this is my own theory. I just want you guys to understand that. So I believe that our consciousness, our soul, stays with God or the collective or whatever you want to call it. It never leaves. What it does is that it imprints into a soul that comes down to earth, okay? And so that soul, we are the vessels and we're just running around doing our thing, okay? With an imprinted version of our consciousness. So when we pass away, 3 planes are available that I believe. So the first plane is kind of like limbo. Like when you pass on, a lot of times the imprint of your soul doesn't know that it's passed away. And it's just kind of lost, just wandering around. That residual energy is just kind of feeling it. So that's the first plane. The second plane is that the soul is fully aware that it has passed over, or that his, sorry, not passed over, but it has died, that its vessel has expired, basically. And but it does not want to cross over. So we have this second plane here where they're fully intelligent, fully aware, but they do not want to cross over to the third plane. A lot of reasons why is because they have unfinished business or they're worried about family members, kind of that sort of thing. So that happens a lot of times. Now, those those souls who are in the second one can also access that first plane. So the higher we go up, each soul can, go down to those lower levels. Then we get to the third level, and that is where the soul absolutely crosses over and is with other souls that it participated with in this lifetime or other lifetimes. And with these, lots and lots of energies can fill up in these planes, especially the lower ones, okay? Those lower planes, that's where you can get those very negative energies that just kind of pop in when you try to connect. That's where a lot of times people bring things in that they weren't expecting when they're trying to contact their loved ones. This is the scary, the poltergeist stuff, the scary, spooky things that people hear about in those haunted houses, okay? This is the plane where that all exists. So it's very important that I tell you guys, like, if you are wanting to contact anyone that has passed over, you need protection always. Always, always, or else you're going to get someone who isn't a loved one following you around. Yes, that is completely possible. Someone can come through that plane and follow you around and cause havoc within your own energy, your house's energy. Like, it's real ghost haunting stuff. Like, this is why you have to always protect yourself. But I just wanted to go through the planes and kind of educate my theories on how I break it down. Now, a lot of you probably don't know, but this service, Messages from Loved Ones, is my least favorite service. I know. People are like, Shaylee, what? Like, this is what you do for a living. Yes, that is something I can do, but that is not what I solely stay with. I'm all about you and your energy, okay? And it's those planes, I'm not saying that they're like bad lower level, vibrations, but they are lower than what I am usually dealing with. I love to play and pull energy from those higher up planes, okay? The higher frequencies, like your spirit guides, your angels, God, Jesus, all of them. I love to pull from up there, because sometimes if you pull from energies down here and you're trying to do a healing, there's times that you can pull their own negative energy in with you. So I don't like to call in on those planes. I fairly don't offer that, and if I do, it's only like I have to have a pretty good valid reason why I will do that service for you. So I know it's crazy, but that's how it works. And there's people, and I'm not saying people who do these messages from loved ones that they're any less than I am. There are people who do it far much better. They have a better protection, they have better feelings and ideas of what's coming through, and they're rock stars at it. And woohoo, go for them. They can play in that area. I will not. We've talked about different things on dimensions in this series. For this episode, we had talked about kind of breaking down the soul level on Earth. This is only Earth that I'm kind of talking about right now. Those soul levels, the three of them, and then consciousness always stays with source, okay? That is my theory, that it just gets imprinted and then we come in these vessels and have this humanly experience. What's so great is that I want to kind of jump into how powerful our brain truly is, okay? When we stop and think, like, okay, so we're human, our mind gets wiped and we come down to earth and we're supposed to have this experience. And we don't remember where we come from. We have these feelings and emotions that we kind of think that we do. And then scientists say that we only use 10% of our brains. 10%. I want you to think about that. So this is something I've always wanted to do, but I truly believe those of you who can tap into consciousness, who can do healings, natural born healers, or any other kind of ability, I think you use more of a percentage of your brain. And I believe that 100%. Now, I've always wanted, to get it all hooked up and test my theory and prove myself, but at the same time, I don't want to become a lab rat. So I've been very cautious on stepping through that, but I truly believe that we use more percentage of our brain when we are doing this kind of work. It is so special to be human. We have the ability to have emotions, ego, have a physical body, and be able to connect to spirit and have these abilities. We are the only ones that are able to really have that. Now, at one point in time, it is believed that we already had the knowledge, but we misused it and they took it away. So it's like us restarting again. But this is a very crucial part in our world right now. There is a lot of chaos going on, and there are many, many, many people awakening. And I think we are on the verge of truth being told. The truth of our past. The truth of what and where we come from. That is all going to be revealed, and I think it's going to be revealed soon. But, we just got to sit and wait. And while we sit and wait, it's people like me, it's people who have other abilities. It's up to us to encourage you guys to use your open mind, to feel with your heart, to know what's right and what's wrong. Love is what a lot of people are missing in the world. It is covered and strengthened by fear. There are people out there promoting more fear and control over the human race. We were not meant to just follow orders. We are specifically come down here, I truly believe this, we come down here for a purpose. And the difference between religion and spirituality, my difference between religion and spirituality. Religion has a book. There's rules you have to follow, and if you don't follow it, you go to hell. Okay? My theory, I have faith, but this is my faith's journey. It's in what I believe in, not any rules anyone laid out for me. They're my own specific rules. So I will never, I love using this analogy, by the way. So this is a book, okay? We can both clearly see it's a book, has pages, has a title, has everything. Okay, it's a book. The way I see this book, because I will connect some sort of emotion to it, that's just how, we work, and that's how we identify things, is either this book made me feel sad or happy, or it looks funny. Like, just using the colors, everything on the book that I'm observing, I'm creating an emotion to this. My emotion is never going to match anyone else's emotion, ever, whatsoever. But it's just a book. It's still just a book, okay? But nothing I see about the book is going to be the same way you see about the book, okay? And that's exactly how I view spirituality. Is we all know there's a source, but how you go about the journey is going to be different than I go about the journey. How you feel about this journey is going to be different than how I feel about this journey, because it's all individualized. We are so unique that way. Yes, I think there's common ground rules of like, don't kill anybody, be nice, use your morals and values, okay? But there's some rules that, are in certain books or anything along those lines that I'm just like, how does that make sense? But neither here nor there. I'm not going to get into that on this episode. Our brain, you do not give it enough credit. Yes, some of you are like, oh, I'm smart, I got this. I'm sure you are. But I am talking about a higher power here. I am talking about different parts in the brain that can actually unlock different abilities. Being able to see the future. Being able to move objects with your brain. Being able to connect to every single person's energy. Being able to manipulate energy. Being able to do a frequency of sound healing. All this is capable in that brain. I know it and I feel it deep 100%. And people are probably going to be like, what? Am I supposed to like become a hippie and start this spiritual journey? No, that's not what I'm saying. You don't have to go out, wear hippie clothes, eat vegan and all of that stuff. No, not so whatever. That's just a stereotype. If you want to unlock the abilities within your brain and within yourself, you have to heal yourself. You have to go deep within and be like, okay, what have I been holding on to that's blocking me from achieving that peace, that happiness? The more that we heal within ourselves, the more we're available to open up to that consciousness. Yes, meditation is super great. I love meditation. I will get into imagination on a different series on how I really do not like that term of verbiage, but it's the best example that I can get right now. So I'm going to say imagination, but just know that I'm going to get into the actual details on how I believe imagination truly works. So I'm going to say it, even though I do not like that, because people have been like, oh, you're just playing pretend, blah, blah, blah. But I want you to understand, I'm going to say this one little thing. Whatever we create in our brains can actually bring into reality. It's called manifestation. So just leave that little note right there, but we will get into that one on a different episode. Ghosts, the 3 levels of soul consciousness on Earth. I'm just talking about Earth specifically, and how our conscious never leaves source, but imprints a soul to come down into the vessel. That is truly what I believe. And reasons I have come up with this theory is, one, a lot of times when you go to ask messages from loved ones or do past lives or anything like that, it seems like their timeline kind of overlaps each other at different times. Like when you're talking to them, but they're saying, "Oh yeah, I've already came back for another life. It's awesome." So I started to question. I'm like, "Okay, wait a minute. If you are living in another life right now, then how in the world am I talking to you? Like that doesn't make sense to me." So, of course, if it doesn't make sense to me, I go through this whole problem solving of like, okay, what does make sense? What is something that could be plausible to make this happen? And so that's how my brain came up with the three planes. And that consciousness always stays to source. I believe every single time consciousness, when it creates a new life, it creates a new imprint. So we have these three planes where we're just going to say this life right now is either if it passed over, if our vessel expired and it passed over, either our soul's in that first ghost limbo kind of plane, or it chose to stay here in that second plane, or it's completely here and happy and living great in what we call heaven and with all your other souls that you met throughout your lifetime, okay? So that's just the imprint. Then consciousness, still connected to all of them, just so you know, connected to all of them, imprints another. So you can have a different life, maybe a different scenario. That is my theory, and I hope I broke this down enough to kind of explain this for you guys. I'm going to get more into how powerful our brain is, along with the word imagination and manifestation next week. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me. I truly, truly love letting you guys know how I feel, how I think about these. And this has definitely been fun for sure. But please give me free feedback, like and subscribe so you don't miss out on next week's or future episodes. Much love to you guys and stay safe.